Hello everyone, with the end of 2022 December having the Code arc being announced at the festival, I know a lot of people have questions about when it's going to come out, how it's going to be adapted, and if it's going to be good. This is one of the more highly anticipated arcs of Boruto. There's only a few canon arcs adapted into the anime right now. The Ishiki arc, Momoshiki arc, the rest are either anime filler or novels being adapted within the anime, like the Sasuke Wrestling novel. Wasn't well received because people didn't really like the dino aspect, and also people didn't really care for the Sasuke and Sakura love. Not to hate on them, I'm just saying that subcategory of the fandom wasn't really as vocal about their opinions as I saw on Twitter and TikTok. It was actually receiving a lot of hate. But the last episode did end off on a bang. Fucked with the visuals, fucked with the episode just heavy. But that is not the topic of this video. As y'all know, the Code arc key visual and design poster, whatever you want to call it, was announced at the end of December or kind of the middle of December, and we saw Code, Ida, Damon all on like a poster signifying that 2023 the Code arc will officially begin. Now, the actual start date of the Code arc, now that the Sasuke Wrestling is over, is episode 287, which should come out on February 12th, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a bit of a preview. Now, for when they adapt the manga arcs or manga canon arcs within Boruto, they kind of do this design flip. Because if you didn't know, the manga designs of Boruto and the characters are kind of a little different from the anime designs. Anime Boruto has a little bit longer coat, different saturation, different colors. And manga Boruto, his jacket is a bit less vibrant and also a bit shorter. He's also just overall looks, in my opinion, more mature than the anime canon version of Boruto. So with this design change, this is how we know that we are getting to manga canon things. This was the same within the Ishiki arc when we saw Kabuki's introduction, and it was kind of like weird, kind of Hamaru curly hair, Kabuki super crusty lips with less saturation, more of a darker tone. People really fuck with that. I fuck with it. I'm glad the designs are coming back. It's staying consistent with how they adapt the manga. So that is a good look. Because the Kabuki arc was done nigh perfectly, having a lot of 10 out of 10 episodes, rated highly on every website. Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke like 9.3 on every website. Barayama versus Ishiki was a 10 out of 10 on some websites. It was kind of L-bomb, you know, the Boruto hate wave, whatever. But yes, Ishiki arc was very well received. Great adaptation. So was the Momoshiki arc. With that being said, I would like to get into the production process first. Now, the Code arc, if I'm not mistaken, I'll put up a tweet on screen. It started 3 months before the end of last year. That's when production for the Code arc started. So 3 months last year, including January, that is 4 months. Right? So they've been working on it for 4 months. A lot of talented people. They have a new storyboard or story director coming back. He directed a few of the early parts of Boruto, some of the filler that they love. I believe his name is Matsuhita. He's a great storyboard artist. He's directed a bunch of episodes, such as some during the Kabuki arc and a little bit before. Shown very promising work. I kind of like his camera action, the way he details the characters and make them play out with their emotions and shit. So I believe he's in good hands, especially from a storyboard perspective. Now, I kind of want to get back into why the Wrestling was adapted, because I don't think people really understand why Sasuke Wrestling was adapted. The manga initially, the manga adaptation of the novel initially was well received, you know, pretty good sales, really good views on the manga apps and shit. People were like very happy when it was announced that this was getting an adaptation, but because people don't actually like to read and they didn't read the novels, they didn't know that this is going to include dinosaurs and mostly be like a romance side story for the Sasuke and Sakura fans. So when the dinosaurs came in and Sasuke appeared to be weakened when he was on like this undercover mission, people were like, oh, this guy was just fighting gods, he's nerfed, why are there dinosaurs, why are dinosaurs in Naruto? Regardless of all the crazy things that have happened in Naruto, such as the aliens, giant snakes, dinosaur bones, an island-sized turtle, they decided to get mad at dinosaurs for some reason. But I believe the Sasuke Wrestling was adapted when it was adapted, specifically to stall for the Code arc, because as we know, they kind of like to go crazy with the manga arcs of Boruto, you know, crazy fights, crazy storylines, extra storylines, so maybe more backstory, better animation, sacrifice to Wrestling, you know. It had to happen. I don't really care. I'm not really a fan of the romance side stories. I don't hate it. The arc was pretty mid to me. The Sakura Sasuke fans have at it, whatever. but that's why it was made, to basically be a sacrifice for the Code arc. Love it, hate it, doesn't matter, right? So now the Boruto fandom has a lot of reliable leakers. In my opinion, they've leaked a bunch of stuff in the past. They usually leak shit for the next arcs, key visuals, staff lists, shit like that. I'm gonna get into what the leakers have said about the Boruto upcoming arc right now. One very reliable leaker is Kev Senpai on Twitter. You can go follow him. I'm gonna put him up on the screen right now. But he has said the God panel will be animated. He has also said the Kabuki versus Boruto fight, keep your expectations high. It's gonna be a really good fight, very hype. Should be on the level of episode 189, I believe, which is the Kabuki introduction, a very well received episode. Kinda excited for that, but we knew the fights were gonna be really good. Another reliable leaker by the name of his name is Jaquise Adonis, right? He said way back in December there's gonna be a good staff back-to-back banger episodes. He responded to that tweet recently with a picture of Borishiki and Kawashiki having like their karma activated. He's already said the upcoming episode for that's slated for us February 12th is gonna be impressive. You know, the visuals, the voice acting, everything. He's pretty impressed with the core staff that's going to be animating that part. He was one of the leakers who told us about how the production started around last year, October. Like I said, 3 months before the end of the year. So yeah, around that October time, that's when they were really hammering in on the Code arc and some Resident episodes, but not all of them. A lot of the Resident episodes were freelance, like I said earlier. A few less reliable leakers, I don't even remember the name of them, no offense to them by the way, but they've also said that Boruto versus Kabuki is going to be a pretty lit fight. Most, if not all, the leakers also say that the fighting and action-packed episodes are going to be around March instead of February, because we know the Code arc had a lot of build-up and just narrative story-based chapters that had almost no action, just building up to the big Code fight in the forest. So around early March, middle March, that's when we're gonna get all of the Karma 2, Kabuki, Code Karma, all of that shit like that fighting happening in an anime. So don't expect in February to have any fighting episodes. Maybe we'll see Code versus those little fucking filler knockoff niggas that protect Ida and Damon, but that's pretty much probably all the action we get. And the Code arc is also moving very fast. They seem to be adapting 1 to 2 chapters per episode. So this is not going to be a long drawn out arc with a lot of anime filler. This is going to be straight to the point, straight manga things. A lot of leakers, one specifically that is very reliable in the Boruto fandom. She leaks manga chapters and manga summaries before they're released. She's just as reliable as someone like Abdul, right? Her name is Luana Rocha. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name as well. I'm not really good at pronouncing names that aren't typically, you know, American or, you know, English names. So sorry if I butchered her name, but she commented the anime is rushing manga content. It's pretty much the same as saying time skip is coming. I believe the same thing. To kind of further support this, we get a mini flashback in one of the Boruto chapters. Not flashback, flash forward of Kabuki I'm assuming he's leaving the village after like a big fight with Boruto, and Sagemo Mitsuki and Sharingan Sarada kind of try to stop him. He has blood all over him. Another thing that kind of tells me the time skip is coming, Ikimoto released a drawing of Kabuki and Boruto with their time skip designs. He has the scar. They look very much more mature. They have longer hair, different clothing. So yeah, everything pretty much points to time skip incoming. That's what people wanted. I'm kind of excited. I enjoy Boruto a lot already, but the time skip is like the most hyped thing right now. So the Code arc being, you know, rushed, as they say, I don't think it's rushed. I think it's just a, you know, not that long of an arc once adapted in the anime. I think they're doing it justice. They know what they're doing. They've been animated for years. I think Studio Period have been animating for what, 20 years at this point? Don't doubt them, right? But as always, keep your expectations low. Don't try to over expect anything, because you're just gonna be let down. If you're expecting 11 out of 10 and the fights are like a 9 out of 10, you're gonna be let down. So keep expectations realistic. They don't have to be low or really low. You can expect whatever you want. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to be disappointed, keep expectations realistic. All right. I'm kind of about to get into what I hope they're gonna do with the anime and what a bunch of people hope they're gonna do with the anime. Now, Boruto being a weekly anime is whatever. Weekly anime are not gonna have top tier animation all the time because, as you know, they have to produce these episodes very quickly. That is the reason between filler and all these other things, especially with a monthly manga, it's so the anime can catch up. But what I'm hoping they do once the time skip reaches, as it approaches very quickly, is I hope they turn Boruto from monthly to like bi-weekly or weekly. And I also hope the anime takes a hiatus to become kind of a seasonal anime. We know seasonal animes, they're like purely canon and they have a lot of time in the studios, no outsourcing animation or freelance animation, a lot of time in-house studios to work on the anime. That is why Demon Slayer looks as beautiful as it does, JJK looks as beautiful as it does, and Attack on Titan looks as beautiful as it does. They are in-house animated, only canon arcs, and are seasonal. Seasonal animes will always look better than weekly animes. I know some are gonna be like, oh, One Piece looks very good. Well, One Piece has like 1,000 episodes. It also took like 10 to 20 years to get to that point. We look at One Piece episodes from episode 1 to like 500, which is like double Boruto episodes. They look like shit, right? It's a weekly anime. If you go to Dragon Ball Super, 90% of Dragon Ball Super either looks like shit or is just reused animation, right? So, giving the track record of fucking weekly anime, we all know we would much rather have it seasonal. And the manga could stay monthly if it wants. Seasonal, I guess, will help with that because they can just adapt as they go and maybe take a few years at a time to adapt the arc. But bi-weekly or weekly, you know, I would love that. More Boruto content. I would love to read it, you know. But yeah, I guess we'll know for sure if after the Code arc we get any announcements on anime filler arcs, or we get like a part 2 like people are suspecting in 2024. Because for right now, the big theories are that we're going to get the first part of the Code arc, which is going to be up into the Kabuki versus Boruto, right? Boruto's death. We're going to get up into that right now, probably from February into like May or something around there, and then we're gonna take a break or have some filler, and then in 2024 we're gonna get the second half, which is gonna be, you know, all of the Otsutsuki gods, Shibai things, and probably straight into the time skip after that. Hopefully it takes a hiatus, like I said. Things to look forward to in the anime that I didn't know they were gonna animate. I thought they cut the god panel, but according to some reliable leaks, the god panel, the big Otsutsuki god with all the Jogan and eyes and shit everywhere, that looks trippy as hell, like a fucking extra dimensional being or something. That's apparently making it into the anime. If that does, that will confirm, I guess, at least for the anime, if those are Jogan. As y'all know, the Jogan does not exist in the manga, at least currently. People have theories, but, you know, nothing concrete or good. Most just think it's Byakugan, shit like that. We'll see that. We probably won't see Shibai for a while if this part 1 and part 2 shit actually means anything like the theories suggest. But yeah, basically I'm keeping my expectations realistic, somewhere around the Ishiki arc where the important parts are animated very well and the fillery or non-important parts are just animated like a normal Boruto episode. Right, manga designs are back. Happy for that. Fighting, as always, I know it's gonna be good. Even the Sasuke Wrestling fights are good. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.